This is the Dull Edge, a podcast where we just answer our own questions because, I don't know. That's fine. Anyways, I'm Bobby.
I'm Shay.
Freaking, some days I wish that I would keep the stuff that happens before this, and that's why we start off and we're always laughing in the beginning of these. It's never anything interesting, so that's why I don't leave them in. But just whatever. Anyways, this one is on, we're going to be talking about villains that we think are like, all right, you can be a villain legitly, not just like you're just being a baby.
Villains,
right?
Yeah, villains that you sympathize with,
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Something
Anyways, like that. We're going to talk about villains.
I'm going to tell mine because I'm not you. We're like so excited.
excited.
And I want a lot of information from you because the ones that Shay has is freaking doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
So I was talking to a few friends today about it, and I think we came up with 3.
Okay. I have 3 too.
We came up with Dr. Freeze from Batman, and we thought it was legit, like, and maybe we're coming at it at different angles, but I thought it was legit because he's just doing it to like
save his wife.
Oh, so I'm like, okay, so you're stealing for a good reason. So you're not really a bad guy, but you're kind of being a bad guy. Nah.
Yeah.
The second one
wouldn't happen anymore with GoFundMe. Like,
oh yeah, no, for sure.
My wife.
Put that on TikTok and whatever.
Yeah.
The second one was Maleficent because whoever doesn't know, but she growing up, I guess her parents got killed, and then she was dating a guy and he cut her wings off and then was like, psych, I'm actually marrying the queen. And then they were like, F you, I'm not inviting you to the baby blessing or whatever, which is kind of weird because why would you invite your ex to that? So I don't know why she was kind of bummed on that one. But I think that's legit because he freaking cut her wings off. So F you, dude. You can be upsetty spaghetti for that.
All right.
And then the last one, which is kind of a baby answer, is Hook from Peter Pan. Which
why?
Because
no.
What the?
Why? Why? He's a bad guy.
No, he totally is a bad guy. But like, I feel like his anger, the amount of anger that he puts out, and the amount of that happened to him is like an equal amount. So I'm like, all right.
Okay, but there's a lot of versions of this. So pick your version.
Okay, so the version is, I don't know, the Disney version where Peter Pan had cut off his hand and he threw it to a crocodile. So he's like upset, which I'd be upset.
Okay.
And so he's not trying to conquer the world now or be like, you know what, F all the little children. He's just like, you know what, F you, Peter Pan, and your kids, you know? And so I just feel like that is equal. The like, you chop the hand off, so he's like, I'm gonna get you.
Okay.
You know?
All
and the buddy. So like, it's equal. He's not
equal measure villain.
Yeah, equal.
Right. If you were reading it from his side, it would make sense. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. I guess.
I guess.
No, I've read the book.
Okay.
Which terrible.
The Peter Pan book?
By James M. Barrie. Yeah, I've read it.
Legit. Which I don't know. That whole thing kind of freaks me out. The whole like, and I don't know if it's true or someone just made it up, and I just am like, where he like takes the kids, and that's why.
Like from the movie.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's the true thing or not. That Peter Pan takes the children that are dead, so he takes them and he's like, that's why they never grow up because they're dead kids.
Oh, I guess that's one theory of them, but no, that's not how it happens in the books. They're just lost. They're lost kids. Okay,
well that's good because I hated that. And then someone goes, oh, and he kills them off after a certain age, and I'm like, no. Peter Pan don't kill no kids. If anything, he's just saving them. There's no way.
He kills a bunch of pirates though. Like in the book, there's like this whole scene towards the end of the book when they go to rescue Wendy on the ship.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and
then how old is Peter Pan?
Like, I don't know, like 10, 15.
15, and he's just like, rain.
No, I know, but the worst is it's the little boys that are doing it, like the little kids, like the 5 and 6 year olds.
The 5 and 6 year olds.
And then you just like hear like thump on the deck, and like the way that James and Barrie writes it is like it's all foggy and misty, and then all of a sudden you just see a body fall, and you're like
on Pirates of the Caribbean where they're like quiet and they like, and then they just like you just see them fall on the ground. Ooh, that's the creeps.
It's so creepy.
Anyways,
like, these are children doing this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've been children for like 100 years though,
so I guess they're 100-year-old.
They're 100-year-old children.
That's like, you know, when they're like, I'm a child at heart.
Yeah.
Except I'm 100 and I'm killing people.
No.
Anyways, what are your 3?
No. Hook. Oh. Okay, I'm not ready to give this up yet. Like, Hook is a bad guy though. Like there's no sympathy there.
No, I think it's legit. That guy chopped his hand off. Wouldn't you be upset if someone was like, right, and then they're like, F you, and tossed it in? I'd be like, are you effing kidding me? I'm gonna punch you in the face, you 10-year-old.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, I've never looked at it that way before. You're right. I would be pretty mad too.
I would be. And it wouldn't even be, I don't even care if it's my left hand or my right hand. I'd be upset.
Any hand.
I'd be like,
that's my hand.
Freaking piece of garbage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut both ears off.
Okay. All right. Fair.
And you're 10, so you're gonna suffer more than me where I am in my adulthood. So
Okay, all right. That's fair. All right, no, okay. So my first one is Jafar from Aladdin.
Okay.
And I am specifically referencing the Disney film. However, I have also read Arabian Nights, and so I have read that version, which is significantly worse. I know it came first.
Worse like bad or worse like,
boring.
Ooh, that's the,
no, like so boring.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right.
Aladdin is just terrible.
Oh no.
That whole book is terrible. Like I love the concept of the book, right? Like Scheherazade gets, she's trying to save her sister and from dying, and so she tells the wicked sultan or whatever he is all the stories for every night she tells him a story, then her sister gets to live, and etc. Right? So that's the whole story. That's Sinbad, and anything that has the word genie in it all came from that. So I've read them, but man, maybe I read a terrible translation, but it was so boring. I agonized through that whole thing. Anyway, but Aladdin. Okay, so here's my deal. Jafar is the second of command of an extremely prosperous and wealthy country, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And you can't just have a sultan that's running around going, wow, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm just living.
He is. Like he just is. That sultan is like a massive airhead, like super useless, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jafar is doing his danged best to keep this incredible country functioning.
Yeah.
Right? But he wants to do it legitimately. Yes, does he want power? Yes. But like
I don't know. He comes off really like wienery about it.
Well,
it's not like,
but who's telling the story?
That's true. Okay. But like, yeah.
So if you stop and you think and you flip it around, you pull a Maleficent on it and you look at it from his point of view.
True.
He tried to do it legitimately.
Yeah.
He tried to be suave and persuade the princess to come over and marry so that they could continue her dynasty. It's not like he was trying to insert himself and create his own dynasty. He's like, no, let's keep it legit. I'll marry you because that's the only thing princesses are good for in that time period, right?
Yeah.
Like you get, and I have no problem with that. I know that the feminists are going to come. I'm sorry. I love you. But here's the deal.
Sorry,
is like, it's
really.
the same thing with knights, right?
Yeah.
Knights get a lot of money. They get a lot of power so that when the bad guys come, they're the ones that go and take care of it.
Yeah, they're willing to step in.
Princesses get all the pretty dresses and all the extra food and all of the ladies in waiting and everything so that when the time comes, you spend your money on marrying somebody to strengthen your kingdom. I'm sorry, that's the social contract.
That's how it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And like society breaks down when people don't follow that contract. I mean, just look at Henry VI and Margaret of Anjou. Like he married the wrong girl and the entire country fell apart because of it. Don't marry the wrong girl, okay? Especially if you're a king or a queen.
Or normal.
Or normal.
That's fine.
Like, I mean, or normal. But like, my financial ruin isn't going to affect the lives of an entire sultanate.
Ben does a lot of business, man. And if you upend that guy, he's going to ruin a lot of people's dreams.
He did marry down, poor fellow. He married
literally.
I'm shorter.
Ben's like 100 foot tall, so it had to be a joke.
I lucked out.
Yeah.
But no, like I definitely came in with less financial backing than he did. But anyway, he was very generous about it. So
he's great.
But like Jafar was trying to do it the right way. Yeah. And so then here comes along this punk who has no voting privileges, no money, no anything. And he ruins it all for love. That is like the worst financial decision any kingdom could possibly make.
True,
So Jafar was the good guy. He was trying to do the right thing. And it was only because Aladdin and Jasmine ended up telling the story that Jafar became the bad guy.
Every time I think about that now, I like this is like a Disney whatever, but when you look at like Aladdin's eyes and Jasmine's eyes, they're very like roundy, but then you see Jafar's eyes and they're very like
sneaky, slipwise.
Whatever. And so that's just what I think.
Of course it would be because she's like young and she doesn't want to marry the old dude. But you know what? If she just sucked it up and married him, he'd have been dead in 15 years anyway. Like it would have been okay.
Yeah. Well, he kind of got a little the creeps at the end though when he was like, "Here, wear this red outfit." I mean, I guess it was already the red version of what she was already wearing, but just he was very Jabba the Hutt about it. You know what I mean?
He was, but again, he was telling the story.
I know, but just kind of
also,
don't put her in an hourglass. That's a little extra.
Yeah, that's a little extra. But you know what though? Like at the same time, you got to look at it. And you're like, they were freaking driving him crazy. Like he'd been after this and trying to get this. Can you just not be insane?
It's like when you're a parent, or at least if I was a parent, I'd be like, can you just
stop for
just go in your room? I would not be a good parent.
You would be great.
There's a reason I don't have kids.
So the fact that you said I would put them in their room instead of like hurting them, that's a good thing. That's a good
thing.
Like,
in my brain thought, tie them to something, like their leg, and be like, I'm leaving here. I'm going to go to my room. You can stay in this community area, but you're tied to the chair just by a rope.
No.
That's dangerous. Don't do that. I don't recommend it at all. Again, there would be editing if I plopped out a child. So,
oh my goodness.
Anyways, who else do you have?
So my next one that I have is Magneto from X-Men.
Okay.
He has a point.
Okay.
Anytime that one group of people tries to eradicate another group of people
Bro.
is bad.
Yeah, it
And
is
like
bad.
he's just trying to prevent that eradication.
Right. He's kind of aggressive.
Well, I mean, yeah, but again, like,
I mean, they were being kind of aggressive.
They were being aggressive first.
Right, but
right. Like seriously, I feel like Magneto has a super good point.
He does. I haven't seen. I think I've seen all the X-Men like one time, so I can't like. Oh, but he did this. The only thing that runs through my mind for Magneto is when he rips out the iron from that poor dude.
Oh yeah, the cop.
Yeah,
dude.
the cop, and I'm like, oh no,
that was a little much.
That was too much.
But at the same time, like you look at it and you look at the good guys in history, like pick out your good guys. I mean, Great Britain carpet bombed Dresden, and like they're considered to be the good guys.
Yeah.
So like I feel like you have to pick your side of the war, and there's sacrifices on both sides. I feel bad for the cop, but no, I don't know. Magneto I don't know.
Couldn't he have accidentally brought handcuffs in on accident or something?
Maybe.
And then he just punched him out or something.
Or just
I don't know.
Made him go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep. You have iron deficiency now. Really tired.
Yeah. Anemia. Yes.
Anemia. Go to sleep.
Sit down. You stood up too fast. Oh, freak.
Yeah. Anyway, there's Magneto.
Okay.
Magneto has a point. Okay.
Okay.
And then my last one, which please don't hate me, universe, but Scrooge from A Christmas Carol.
I hate Christmas Carol in the general life. F that. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know.
No, explain.
I don't know why. I don't like.
You've had to see it too many times. So Zach can really do it.
Probably, but I just don't like a lot of Christmas stuff. So
either.
It just.
It's always so campy and cheesy and so Deus Ex Machina. Like all of a sudden, God of Machine comes in. It's like, oh, it's Christmas. Everything is fixed. Well, what about tomorrow? I mean, like
the 26th does come.
I know the 26th does come. Like you have to put Christmas down at some point.
I do like the Muppet one though.
Oh, that one's hilarious.
That one's freaking funny.
They committed. Like the live actors committed.
Oh yeah,
and that's what made it so good. I think.
Yes.
No, okay, but no.
Anyways, why do you like it?
Okay, so like I am not saying that the problems that were going on in England at the time that Charles Dickens was writing were not legit. They were super legit. I mean, I read a statistic the other day that they were saying there were 300,000 fatherless and widows walking the streets of London.
Oh my god.
300,000. That's like the entirety of the lower half of Davis County where we live.
We only have 16,000 people in Centerville.
Yeah, that's like an entire city or more. It's insane to me that is how that is. Anyway, so
just
like
hanging
Scrooge,
out, not whole.
Scrooge is.
I don't know.
Okay, so sorry, I'm distracted. Okay, so
anyways.
But like he has a point. Like I feel like people should work, and like they're always
they should definitely work. I think he just shouldn't have been like, here's half of a coin for you.
Well, yeah, but like okay, so he came out of poverty too, right? So like his whole backstory is he was dirt poor, and that's why they couldn't bring him home for Christmas or whatever, and he was so sad about it. He had to stay at the school to get school lunch, right?
Right.
He knows what it is to be poor.
Okay,
so when he's saying like, hey, people should go work, then I don't feel like that's a bad thing.
No, that's not. But I still think he should pay his people, not
Bob Cratchit,
2 licks off a lollipop.
I guess that's
like,
true. I don't know. I still sympathize with him just a little bit. Also, Christmas is the worst, especially if you don't have people around that love you and take care of you and stuff. Christmas is the worst.
Oh no, that is
so
awful.
He's all alone.
Yeah,
and like I get it. Like his nephew Fred is there to help take care of him and stuff. But like also his nephew Fred is a super extrovert and Scrooge is an introvert, and often those two things don't.
No,
mix.
they don't. But I think they could have like met where he was extremely like, and that guy was too much.
Okay. Anyway, so tell us what you guys think in the comments and all that.
Who do you think is a legit bad guy?
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, bye.